What is going on, viewers? It is Forza here as always. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new around here. I don't quite know what's wrong today. So it's gonna be a rusty commentary, trust me. Anyways, so back on Forza 7 again after a long while. I mean 1 week. So S-Class, SRT Viper, just a Viper basically, doesn't matter which one. And we're racing around the Le Mans, the full circuit. That this guy comes in with a nice cutback after cutting half the chicane. Good stuff, and we're just gonna sweep around the outside. He doesn't seem to have any grip, so we're gonna, as I said, we're running the chicane down now. Well, I saw it coming. I'm not gonna lie, I just completely saw it coming. The contact, the back end spin, basically, they just tap your back end and you're gonna spin out. And that happened way too early into this race, so basically we went from 1st to 11th, which is not good, not ideal at all. This race, absolutely shocking start, but we're gonna try and restore some of our pride here as we go onto the Mulsanne Straight. This is where we can really unleash the power of this Viper as we drive past Screaming Energy in the NSX and this guy in the Civic, somehow outpacing a NSX in a straight line. So as we go towards the first chicane, this is where things always kick off, and proven by that, I was completely right about my statement, because things again kicked off, and we had a few people in the turbo, and basically the main reason is many people either don't know where they're braking into that first chicane, or they just forget that we're running the chicane. I myself am guilty of doing that. I just sometimes forget that we're running the chicane, and then I just go full speed into the driveway. And into the second one, I thought I'm really late on the brakes, and then that's hence why I held on to the brakes for way too long. But it turned out to be actually quite alright. I could have pulled the move off on Ublik as well, but staying on the brakes for too long is definitely better than ramming into someone. So you don't want to make yourself look too bad, especially when you're playing with a friend. So past the Ferrari and also Ublik as we head towards the Mulsanne corner behind the Ford GT, and I'm pretty nicely on the brakes, but we receive a shunt from behind, and I'm just about gonna keep it on the track. So as we head on into the straight, this is where things kick off as Nikita Mazepin pushing Ublik all the way off the track. Oh my god, that's absolutely shoddy defending. Is he gonna do the same when I'm trying to go past him? Yes, he is gonna push me onto the cross into the wall. I'm having none of it. I'm just gonna show him the turbo. That's right there, mate. There we go. Beautiful stuff. Just make sure he knows where the turbo is. There we go. Beautiful stuff. As I said, for the second time, just pushed him into the explosive barrier. There's some part of the track that really attract tourists. So I didn't push him. He really just wanted to pay a visit to that explosive barrier. So it's infamous barrier. You usually get pushed on into that if you're fighting a rammer. I'm not a rammer though, however. You guys know I'm such a clean driver. I don't ram or I don't cut at all. Moving on from that topic, as we go past Ublik in the NSX, we get the superior run, and we also have the power, so we just easily sail by into second place. As we hit towards the Porsche curves, this is basically the most technical section on this whole track, because it's really twisty and really long corners, and for Le Mans, people usually go for cars that have all the speed in this whole world, and then they have absolutely zero handling, so they just tend to get it wrong. They just go off and then basically shatter on themselves, to kill themselves and lose tons of position. That's easy to do around Porsche curves. But we take him just about fine. I have enough, I've spent enough time around Le Mans to just basically know how to take the Porsche curves okay and not kill myself. So that was the full extent of that race. We finished in second place. That was a good recovery, but not a good race really, because we got tapped around. That could have been a first place, but after that contact, it just basically died. So moving on to the second and the final race of this video. So we're driving the Porsche 997 GT2 RS, or is it the 997? I'm not quite sure. We're just gonna stick with 2012 911 GT2 RS. So this car, you guys probably know how good it is in a straight line. As we receive multiple taps from behind, we just about managed to save the car. If we had sim steering, we would probably sim twitch into the shadow realm. And look at this, 3 abreast as we go through the S's, and I'm just gonna hit the skyline out. I'm just gonna back out, let him proceed ahead of me. So we drop down a free position ACR because he goes through in his V8 supercar, and then I don't know what he was doing there. How can you spin in a V8 supercar? And receive a nice shot from behind, so we move past him into 7th place. So Digna 1 taking nicely, and Digna 2, look at this. Oh, Skyline going for a nice drift. This is not a drift lobby. Obviously, drifting is not the fastest way to go through the corners, but you can always do what you want. So as we head towards the hairpin, I'm a little bit late on the brakes, but then look at that, the Skyline going for a big drift. He's probably really into initial B, and he loves drifting basically, and that is what basically that Skylines are for, you know, in games. Usually in Forza you see them as a drift build, but this guy is racing it, so you know, you can do whatever you want. So as we head towards Spoon, I just completely overshoot the brakes because this is the first time driving the car, and I don't know what the strong point of this car is. Well, the strong point is the acceleration, as you can see, flying by the Skyline as if it were standing still. But it doesn't seem to have good brakes or good handling. It's all about acceleration and speed. So this is probably the only car that can rival the GT40 in terms of acceleration and top speed. The top speed are pretty similar, but the acceleration, this can probably rival the GT40. So as we go through the chicane, we missed the second apex by about 3,000 miles, but we're moving on. So as you can see how good this car is in a straight line as we compare it to a Ferrari BBLM. Look at that, just flying past them. As we head towards turn 1, up the inside. Oh, dust kicking up. Something must have happened there. Yeah, there we go. That guy was off the track. He manages to rejoin the track without losing any position to any of us. And the Ferrari F50 basically just binned himself. He just drove completely off the track for no reason. No one was on his back, and he just basically pressure got into him and drove himself off. He didn't want to be a part of this anymore. So as we head through the S's, we're gonna skip a lap, and we can see here we're much closer to the Skyline up ahead now, the R34. So if we just keep it together, we just keep our cool here, we can probably go past him on the back straight. But we'll see what happens here. We might actually be able to go past him before that. You can actually see the guy in 2nd place as well. But as we go in towards the hairpin, and well, he just completely drives himself off and proves the point that this corner is really hard to get right, because well, you're going in blind. There's a right kink before you get to the hairpin. You're going in blind, and then you don't really know where you're braking or anything. So we skip to the end of the race. Nothing really happened. I couldn't quite catch the guy in 2nd place. I didn't have enough time. So we finished in 2nd place. We finished in 3rd place. I mean, that was an okay race. Apart from the start, it was a little bit chaotic, but it was a good race anyways. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, and also check some of my other videos and subscribe if you want to see more to say. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Goodbye.